Alright, boys and girls, this is Big Germ and
Mexi Mike.
Hello, Mexi Mike. How are you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great.
So, we're coming at you live from somewhere in between Pendleton and where?
Well, I think somewhere in Hermiston between Umatilla and Pendleton. I don't know, really.
We're in Oregon, folks. Where weed is legal in Oregon, by the way.
I have no idea what that has to do with our conversation today.
Well,
maybe it's because these shitty drivers in this state are cutting us off. They kind of give us this weird finger gesture, and they look upset, but I'm sure they're friendly people.
well, I'm sure it has nothing to do, Miguel, with you cutting them off. And not using your blinker and driving erratically.
Yeah.
But anyways, folks, so what we actually called to talk to you about today, boys, is methadone.
No.
Yes, this is a recovery channel. What we talk about is about our recovery.
Okay, alright, fine.
Me and Mexi Mike, we're in recovery.
We're in an argument about what this channel is, but I forget what recovery is sometimes.
So,
I don't want people to know about it. I'm ashamed, I'm embarrassed, but I'm working on just being myself.
Exactly. He's also not sure if he's gay or not, but we're working on that too. Sometimes you gotta, mess around with a guy to figure out whether you're gay or straight.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I had to do. Anyways, so this channel, this video specifically, and this channel is going to be a little bit about recovery and how we're changing our lives, and then hopefully amazing things happen and you guys can witness it all. Amazing things are going to happen in our lives. So we're all really smart, intellectual people. We've got a lot of things going for us. So what's going to happen is our lives are going to change.
Though slowly, the progress is not shown as fast as you may want it, but through a period of time,
And that's a fact.
mountains can be crossed and moved.
It can also be very discouraging because things happen slowly. We were addicts for so long. Me personally, I was doing drugs for over 15 years in active opiate abuse.
I didn't know drug addict like you then. You're worse than that, man.
Well, we're all created equal.
A drug addict is a drug addict.
Drug addict is a drug addict. And we all have done dirtbag things. But what we got to do is put our past behind us, and I can't have 15 years clean time if I don't start at zero.
Every day.
And right now, me and Miguel, we are at over 2 months, just over 2 months. On the 1st, it was 2 months for us. So high five, Mexi Mike. You're driving, sorry, bud.
Just cut him off.
Let's cut this guy off. Oh well.
That's why they're flipping us off.
Anyways, Mexi Mike, please explain to our viewers how methadone works. You tell me your view of the way methadone works.
Okay, so...
And I'll correct you if you're wrong.
It's a substance which one uses to get off
Watch the road.
any opiates, heroin, or narcotics in general. It helps you level out your mood swings. Basically your day-to-day life is affected by how much crap you put in your system, and when you're not getting that crap, such as opiates and narcotics, you get a little moody and you become a little bitch. So you're not yourself. So what methadone does, it counteracts the moodiness. It helps you not get sick. It helps you from...
Let me jump in here, Mexi Mike, because you got to take a right turn up here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mexi Mike, you're right on track there. Hey, you're blocking the camera. Can you use your other hand to drive? There you go. Okay, so Mexi Mike, what you got to do is explain to these viewers. So what it is, methadone is actually an opiate. Let's just be clear. So when we say we're clean, we are still using opiates. We're also still clean because we are getting them prescribed to us by a doctor. We're not abusing them. We're taking them legally. And actually, to get prescribed methadone, we actually have to, we have to see a doctor and a counselor
physician,
and a nurse every single day.
every day.
We are taking, stuff that they prescribe to people, and give you a 30-day dose on the street and not knowing anything about the person. We have to see doctors and nurses every single day to take our medication. They watch us take the medication to be sure we're taking the correct amount, correct dose. We have to actually, they show us our dose and we have to actually say it out loud to them. So it's just to verify that it's all the correct dosing, that you're taking it right, that everything's what it should be.
Okay, fine. You don't mind me cutting you off?
I don't. Go ahead.
It's FDA standard, pretty much. You have to follow protocol.
DEA standard.
Yeah, FDA. DEA protocol, so that you're not using it as a drug or abusing it. Is what
So
I'm
you're not abusing it. Yes. So now, what methadone does is a few things. One, the withdrawals. That's a huge issue when you're trying to quit off opiates. Any addict knows that coming off opiates, the worst fear is going through those withdrawals. And depending on your how much you take, your tolerance level, the withdrawals, I wouldn't wish them on my worst enemy. They are horrible.
Maybe one.
Sweats, chills.
Diarrhea.
It's like having the flu times 10. Diarrhea, upset stomach,
Random boners.
yes, premature ejaculation,
Can't
believe it or
control
not,
yourself.
is literally a withdrawal symptom of
Ladies
opiates.
hate it.
You will wake up and have a wet dream. I'm 35. I haven't had a wet dream since I was 18. But when you go through withdrawals, yep, you're having a wet dream. Promise you that.
That's not bad, but
Yeah, they're bad because it's literally like
The worst.
2-second dream.
yeah.
You don't get to enjoy it.
They're the worst dreams ever. Basically, yes.
Anyways, and usually you're in jail when it happens because a lot of addicts know that we get clean when we're in jail. Anyways, so you don't have to go through the withdrawals. The other thing you don't have to do is you get your medication every day. It's already there for you because drug addicts spend so much of their time wasted on getting their dose, getting their fix. Anybody who's been an active addict for very long knows that you end up in this spot where you aren't getting high anymore. You are literally chasing being well, just feeling normal, not being sick. You're constantly just trying to keep from being sick because it's so expensive. Go ahead, Mexi Mike.
In other words, you're not yourself. Your family notices you're an asshole, excuse my language. You're just an individual that nobody wants to be around, especially your loved ones, your girlfriend, your mother, your father, your brothers, your sisters. They all know what's going on. They just don't understand that it's an actual disease and that you have to do what you have to do to get what you need so that you can feel better and you can be that person you are when you're not on the drugs,
You know, when we were in the second grade and the teacher said, "What do you guys want to be when you grow up?" I didn't hear anybody say they wanted to be a drug addict. I don't know about you, but nobody ever wants to be an addict. Nobody wants to do heroin. It's not a goal people have. That depending on the situation they're in, depending on, I really, I honestly, I'm not talking crap about marijuana. It can be useful also, just like methadone. But it was a gateway drug to me. I was a stoner for a long time, and now that they're legalizing it, it's helping it. But, where did I get my marijuana before it was legalized?
A drug dealer.
From a drug dealer. And drug dealers have drugs, and generally not just marijuana.
Drugs are bad, kid.
Eventually, the drug dealer asked me if I wanted other drugs, and so I,
Like what?
started trying them, like OxyContin.
What's OxyContin?
OxyContin is an opiate, just like heroin. And actually, when it first was prescribed by doctors, it was made so you could abuse it easily. You could literally put it in a syringe. You could sniff it. You could smoke it. You could do whatever. Anyways, let's get back to methadone. So it's...
Hold on. You had a very good point. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But what he was saying about
Watch the road.
marijuana is a gateway to drugs. I know you're going to go through your school studies and you're going to go to health classes and they're going to tell you marijuana is a gateway drug. It is a gateway drug. Don't laugh, don't giggle, don't fucking try
I
to
swore it
argue
wasn't a
the point.
gateway drug for the longest time.
So did I. I was a good little boy. I did everything my teachers, my parents, and my coaches told me to do.
However, now that it's being legalized, it has the potential to change that because, you know, it's the information. Now that people are informed about it correctly, you know, when they had the whole, what was the, you know, anti-cannabis thing they had?
It's basically the drug war.
Well, when they had those commercials way back in the day, I can't think of what they were called right now, but it shows a guy smoking a joint, and then he grabs a shotgun out of his dad's closet, and he's like, I'm so high, and blows his brains out. Marijuana doesn't make you do that, so we're being lied to. We're being lied to by the government and everything to scare us from doing it, right? And that's not the way to educate your kids, because then I was like, I saw my dad smoking weed, and I'm like, well, he doesn't do that. My dad doesn't grab a gun and kill himself.
Wait,
he doesn't jump in front of a car.
Can you pause the video?
I can't pause the video.
We have to.
So, and then the other issue is, anyways, back to what methadone does. So it gets you out of the drug world, right? Okay? Get you out of the drug world so you're not going to look for your dose.
Not thinking about it.
You're not thinking about it. Well, you're still thinking about it, but you're saving your time so you can do normal things, so you can actually like get a job, you can get a girlfriend, you can do all these things that you're actually supposed to be doing in life.
Hang out with real friends.
Hanging out with real friends. So it also blocks other opiates because it has, it's a two-part thing. It's a very strong opiate. It's like 300 times stronger than morphine or something.
Yes.
Anyways, so it's really potent. However, it doesn't have the euphoria and all the feel-good that other opiates have. So when you take this, the other opiates can't actually, you know, if you were to do heroin, it has a hard time attaching to your receptors because the methadone's so strong. But on the other side of it, it doesn't have the euphoria that other drugs have, so you don't get the feel-good from it, you know, like you would if you were doing heroin.
It won't be as addicting, pretty much.
It's great. It's really awesome. Suboxone is another one. It does a really similar thing.
No, I don't like Suboxone.
Suboxone is trickier to switch. I would recommend Suboxone for somebody who does not have a high tolerance to opiates.
Yeah.
If you've only been doing opiates for a year or, you know, a few years or something, you're not really heavy addict, Suboxone is great. Because it does the same thing methadone does, just a little bit better. Now, so it does what? It gets you out of the people, places, and things that you were doing before. It gets you your dose paid for, so you're not, you know, financially ruining your life.
Or going to drug dealers' houses and putting your fucking legal status in a wreck.
And then it doesn't give you the euphoria and other things. And you take it as a liquid, so you're not popping a pill or doing any of those things that become like kind of a ritual
Triggers.
when you, triggers for you. It's a really great drug, okay? So then, after you take it for maybe a year, you get out of those circles, you get a job, you change your life, then you can talk about getting off the methadone. And some people take it for the rest of their lives. You know, honestly, I'm one of the people that I might take it for the rest of my life.
That's okay.
And it's totally fine, totally okay. Because I'd rather do that than be where I was before. And if that's what it takes to keep me from being that addict, I'm okay with that.
And trust me,
you know,
he's come a long way from where he used to be. So have I. The changes in this individual's
in just 2
life
months
has dramatically changed who he has become. Though he has a lot of room for growth, so do I.
But it took us a long time to get here. You know, we didn't get here to where we are overnight. We didn't.
No.
You know, and people are going to hate us for a long time. People are going to hold on to that for a long time. We may never live down, you know, the people that are like, well, I know who you were, and, you know, still hold us to that. But we're not dirtbags. We're great guys. Mexi Mike, it's been great. We're pulling up on 15 minutes, so we're going to let you guys go. We appreciate you listening to the video. Like and subscribe it. Mexi Mike, do you have anything else to add to the video before we let you guys go?
So push that little, I bell button so you can get our videos. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. And
Be more to come. We're celebrating Silver Life, and we're going to share it with you guys.
One more thing. Word up, motherfuckers.
Love you guys. Be good.